Shut up, phone. Why you make noises right now? What is up, dudes, dudettes, and all my beautiful people of the interwebs? It is Saturday, so you know what that means. It is time to go beyond. Welcome to the Smash Podcast, and welcome all new people to the United States of Smash. I gotta say, I'm excited about tonight because not only are you getting your usual group of weebs over here, we also have a special guest with us, and I already see that some of his people are hopping on over here in the chat, so I see you there. I'm so intense. I like that name because it's a double entendre. But before we get started, I'm really excited about today because he's a good friend that I met. For those who don't know, is that I was at PAX South last month, did a lot there, and met a lot of amazing people. And he's one of the amazing people that I actually met there. And I've been talking with a lot of these guys and been trying to work with some of them to do more and expand out. And I'm glad to have him on the show, especially for today. So let's go ahead and introduce who we have here on the panel right now. And I'm going to go ahead and start with our very special guest. And that is my friend NizzyTube. What is going on with you, Nizzy?
What's going on, guys? What's going on in all Smash? What's going on, guys?
Oh, no.
How's everybody doing today?
We're doing good. What about you, Ab?
Good, man. Good. Looking forward to. Obviously, I've been looking forward to this all week. Since you told me about it, I was just like, beyond excited about it, man. So, thank you so much for having me a part of the podcast.
Oh, it's so fun, man.
Oh, no doubt, man.
Looking forward to it, man. Really looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Like I said, we're all nerds in our own way or form. We all have our hobbies and passions outside of just what we do. You know, we're all gamers here, but we all like different things. And I use this show as a way for us all to just kind of do something different. You know, everyone games nowadays and talks about gaming, but it's, you know, it's not everyone sits there and talks about the movies and the comics and stuff. It's just a little way to have a little bit of extra fun.
Yes, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And there is a lot of heat coming out, a lot of good stuff.
Oh, definitely, and a couple stuff that can go in the bushes, as we all know, but definitely a lot of good stuff, and we're gonna talk about all that. And of course, we have our usual fraud on the panel, who's slowly working his way up. He's the man with no plan, and when he does, it starts at Z, Mr. Operations himself.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I'm glad to be back here. Glad to have a guest on here with us because I know you're real excited to be here. So I'm gonna try to match enthusiasm, man. Got the match tonight.
That's because you've been baking all day.
Nah.
Making graphic Gucci. It's a lot.
Yeah, I was like, you've been making them cupcakes and that cake. Have you even tried making that alcoholic cake that you wanted to make yet?
Not yet, because that shit's expensive. So I'm gonna like postpone that until I get the foundation here. But like, yeah.
Where you wanted to do a champagne cake, right? Or what was it? Or champagne cupcakes?
I don't know about champagne, but a couple friends gave me some suggestions.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna experiment with some stuff.
Champagne cupcakes. Hold up.
I don't know how that's gonna turn out because that's champagne.
If you could just bring a couple of those here to Jersey, I would highly appreciate it.
Hey, when I make a trip up that way, I'll swing by Alabama and pick them up from him, and we'll go that way.
Heck yeah, dude. Be a party.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I'll be up in the New York and Jersey area come October, so you'll see me out that way.
Yes. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be another party.
Oh, definitely. It's gonna be another party. We're gonna be partying all year. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Oh man, but it's so good to have you on here, Nizzy. I know you got excited, and you know, just for all the new viewers and stuff here coming in to Smash, as well as for all of our returning viewers that have come out. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your history? You know, what got you into gaming, what got you into nerd culture, some of your hobbies and favorite stuff growing up. You know, any animes that you may have loved, or any specific comics or movies. You a Marvel fan, DC fan? Tell us a little bit about you. And let the internet get to know you.
Well, I'm a little all over the place as far as when it comes to just like anime and Marvel and DC. I've been a Batman fan for a very long time, so Batman is like my go-to superhero. I've watched pretty much every single movie from Michael Keaton to Ben Affleck. X-Men fan. I've always been a I've always been a X-Men fan. As far as gaming goes, I've been gaming since I was a kid, dude. I mean, growing up, my first
Since-
gaming, I guess, device was the original Game Boy. I remember when the
Oh yeah.
screen was green and
Oh, you
it was
mean
like a
the
huge block.
yeah? You mean the old
Like
one
a
that was
huge
like
gray
made out of
block?
stone with like the 2-inch
Yes,
screen that you had the
dude.
big buttons
You
that
need-
took forever to push?
Yeah, you needed 4 batteries, dude, to power that thing on, bro.
Oh,
First
man.
game was Tetris, bro. I will never forget it, dude. And I just kind of been all over the place when it comes to gaming, man. I mean, never in a million years would I ever, tell you that, I put myself in front of a camera and just start streaming games. I just, it just kind of happened one day where I was just like, bro, like I love watching people game. I love everything about gaming. I was like, why don't I just, you know, get into the habit or make it into a hobby and just start meeting new people, making friends, and my first initial thought was to go on YouTube, which hence the tube in NizzyTube came in. And
Makes
then
sense.
you're right. And then I started looking at Twitch, and all this noise came up about streamers on Twitch. Obviously everyone from Ninja to Dr. Lupo, Tim the Tap Man, and I was just like, all right, let me see what Twitch is all about. And the community, dude, it's just the Twitch community itself. It's just so friendly, dude. It was almost like very welcoming to just just get involved. Meet people, make friends. I mean, it's surreal how something like Twitch can really bring people together. It's awesome. It was a great it was just the best, probably one of the best decisions I ever made was to get involved with Twitch and meeting people and being part of different communities. And there's so many different communities out there. It was probably the best decision I probably ever made.
Oh man, that's really awesome to know, man. It really is amazing when you look at that kind of stuff and kind of look at how that all plays into a fact of what we grow up with, and especially hearing how far back you were with gaming, with starting with the old Game Boy. I remember having a Game Boy literally before they came out with the Game Boy Color. I had my cousin's old Game Boy because shortly when I was young, probably in like '95, I think is when they released the Game Boy Color. So that was probably one of the first things that I had when I was actually able to like carry a portable game with me all the time. But I grew up with my cousins and them having a SNES and an NES, and then of course my old PS1. So yeah, that's great to see, and seeing your history with games or with comics. Seems everyone loves Batman. Everyone is like a de facto Batman or Superman fan. It's like that's always everyone's go-to immediately.
Dude, it's like the biggest almost rival. It's always Batman or Superman. So and obviously they had the whole movie with it too. So that I mean, even though obviously people's opinion was different based on the movie, but just in general, like it's either you're a Batman fan or a Superman fan. You can't really be both. So and, when you think of Batman, like obviously Superman, like he grew up having powers. Batman, he's skillful, dude. He just has the money just to be who he is. It's just the backstory behind Batman. It's just so badass, dude.
Definitely. I've always been a big Green Arrow fan. And of course, my all-time favorite has always been Shazam. I always say that Shazam's always been my absolute favorite.
Shazam, wow, man.
Yeah, I'm a big Shazam fan.
You're actually the first person to ever say that. That's hilarious.
Really, I've always
Really,
been.
I promise you.
I've always been a very big Green Arrow and Flash fan because their humor I always enjoyed more than anyone else. But Shazam has always been my favorite just because of the fact that he's a kid. It just shares that history. And when I first read comics, seeing Billy as the young kid he is, and just living that fantasy of a kid with superpowers, that was what it was for me. I was just like, I love this.
Definitely, dude.
But you said that you're a big X-Men fan, so I have to ask the question: who is your favorite X-Men?
It's always been two. Gambit, and Wolverine.
Yo, I can fuck with this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gambit is the boy. That is the homie right there.
Dude, just it's crazy. Like he's just an awesome just superhero, dude. Like the crazy shit he could do with a deck of cards. Like I remember growing up as a kid, dude, and just start flinging cards at people. I used to fling cards at my sister, bro, pretend to be Gambit. And then I used to get our broomstick and just start beating the shit out of her with the broomstick.
Living a dream.
Yeah, I
that's
love
the
it, dude. Living a dream, bro.
See,
Exactly,
people,
dude.
that's what I love about Gambit's powers is people really don't understand Gambit's powers. And for those who don't know, is that he actually uses a form of kinetic energy because he uses a form of kinesis. So he's able to put kinetic energy in items that he uses and basically create explosive kinetic force, which is what creates the explosions. And his what would you call it? The item he used as his focus has always been cards because of the fact that he was a little bit of a card shark there in the swamplands of Louisiana, there in the bayous. But that's what just makes him even better. But yeah,
man.
I've always loved Gambit.
Yeah, and then just the whole Wolverine, like that leadership attitude and that grizzly kind of, like
That in your
like
face.
he's the man, like, and just slicing and dicing, dude. Like, yeah, that's Wolverine was that dude.
Yeah.
You couldn't mess with him.
Oh, definitely. Everyone loves Wolverine, and I think it's hard because Wolverine is such a good and yet flawed character. Like, he's one of those characters that have always been flawed in the right ways, and also had probably the most growth over years. I was like,
Absolutely.
I think my other favorite X-Men, I would always have to say, was always Nightcrawler, just because I always felt bad for Kurt. I was like, and I felt for him, so Kurt was always my favorite. So I love Nightcrawler.
Yeah. And with Wolverine, like some of his flaws though, were kind of like put more emphasis on, especially in the Age of Ultron series.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, when they went to Fury's bunker, they find him as secret bunker. Travel back in time. So everybody's thinking, all right, we should go back in time or go forward in time, wherever, and try to stop Ultron. But Wolverine's like, no, just kill Ant-Man, because he created Ultron. He's literally the source of right now.
Just kill Pym, just kill Hank. And they're just like, wait, what? He's just like, yeah, it just makes it easier. Just kill Hank.
Yeah, nobody wants to believe Wolverine.
Yeah.
Always right.
Yep.
That attitude, man.
It is that attitude.
Yeah.
It's that Canadian, right? We all think they're nice, but they're secretly mean.
Yeah.
Wolverine knew what he was talking about.
He didn't know what he was talking about. But man, it's good to hear your history and see what you love, and we definitely got some good topics here to talk about all across the board. So let's go ahead and hop in with some of these topics. And the first one we're gonna start off with is a pretty big one, or small, depending on what you're talking about, but definitely one that a lot of people would definitely feel for. And what that is that Paramount Studios have officially announced that World War Z, the sequel that they were working on, has officially been canceled. And I gotta say, this is for the better. That entire movie can go straight to the bushes. It never needed to see the light of day. The way that they focused on it was not the way that book ever worked. So it was not good, and it definitely does not need a sequel. And nothing to Brad Pitt, they focused on the human story and they followed him and his family. Brad Pitt did his part. He did a good job. It's just the movie itself is it's one of those things. It's like good acting, good actor, horrible story writing, and that was just one of those cases. And I'm glad that the sequel is officially dead, because it's been sitting in development hell for almost 5 years. It really didn't need to sit in development hell because of the fact that it didn't need a sequel to begin with.
5 years. That's a long time for a movie like that, though.
Yeah, it really is
That's
a long
very
time.
long time. The only reason why I even like the movie a bit is because one of the cities in Jersey got like 5 seconds of fame when the I don't know if you remember that one part when they were at the supermarket.
Yeah.
So they filmed that in Newark, New Jersey, and I was like, oh, well, I live like 10 minutes away from there, so yeah, that's cool. All right, but the movie's still not all that good, but all right.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, I know that spot. That's cool, and then he was done.
Yeah, that's it. The thing about that movie was, I think it was I I feel like it was. I mean, I don't know if you guys could agree or maybe disagree. I feel like it was just too cluttered. Like I feel like too much was going on.
It definitely was trying to do way too much, and
Yeah.
like I said, the biggest aspect was the fact that they had already uh, tried to push too much of the human story following Brad Pitt's character and his family, compared to if you read the actual World War Z, it was a compilation of stories of everyone kind of dealing with the threat of the infected and everything that was coming on.
Right.
So
Right.
it just felt like they were trying to do all those little stories while having one main story going on at the same time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that
I
just
might
what it
be
was.
all.
It was just, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. You go ahead.
No. I think it was just simple fact that one minute he's in the U.S. and then where did he fly to? Pakistan, or something like that.
Yeah,
or,
they did.
And then all of a sudden they were in a plane and plane crashed and then he's somewhere else and then he's like in front of someone's house and then it was way too much is going on for me. With a movie like that you could definitely lose track, and that's what it was for me. I think it was just too much that was going on. Like it just kind of I lost interest. I eventually lost interest. Like I finished the movie, so I was committed, but by the end of it I was like thank God.
Oh man, I didn't even finish that movie. After like 20 minutes, I was just like, you know what? I'm done. Because like I did the same thing with Batman v Superman, right? The theatrical release, they tried to do 3 different storylines in one movie, and that was so disconjointed. I literally fell asleep in the theater, which is the first time I've ever fallen asleep during a movie, and that would
Wow.
put me to sleep. And then like when they released the like director's cut, everyone's just like, no, this makes up so much. I was just like, I don't know. They're like, no, trust me. They're like, the director's cut fills in like 20 extra minutes of stuff that actually makes the story make more sense. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And when I did, I was like, all right. I was like, this redeems it. Not by much, but it fixes a lot of the issues I had with the theatrical release.
Probably the only one in here who isn't bothered by the World War Z movie. Granted, I didn't read the books at all.
Oh, that's
thought
why.
it was
That's why.
Yeah, I thought it was mildly entertaining. It didn't put me to sleep. I was glued to it the entire time of it, so I'm
Oh
probably
yeah.
outlier
If
in
you
this.
if you read the book, you would be like, dude, this is so bad.
Well, how did it differ? Like, how bad was the discrepancies from the book?
Like
and
I
movie?
said, the book itself is a compilation of stories of different people
Okay.
trying to survive in the world. This one tried to put too much emphasis on following Brad Pitt's character, trying to be the one to help end the plague and everything, and trying to work with these government agencies or whatever, trying to find the cure and stuff, and focusing on him and his family. That's not how it was
So-
in the book.
So some typical modernization summer action film, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, makes sense.
Your modern summer film is really what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
This one got canned, though. I'm not surprised.
yeah, and it's good that it got canned because again, no offense to Brad Pitt or any of them, but it just was not gonna do any good by having that sort of appeal or anything like that. It just was not gonna work out for it at all.
Yeah, I totally agree, and for the simple fact that you obviously brought it up to the podcast, I totally even forgot about the fact that they were even in development for it. So the fact that they canned it, it's probably the best move.
Yeah.
I forgot
Yeah,
the
if
movie existed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it was gonna take this long, it probably wasn't gonna be that good.
Yeah, it really wasn't gonna do any sort of good. Like, I mean, the original was, man, they didn't even really make. I mean, I think they did a little bit, money wise. I think they were like, I think the original budget was 190 million, and I think that it made 202 here in the States, and then 500 worldwide, which is because like the Chinese market, they eat that stuff up. They really do. But overall it really it wasn't good at all. And it sucks, but I'm really glad that it's getting canceled, just because of the fact that it just feels like it did not respect the source material enough at all to really warrant the kind of attention that it got.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and Dallas makes a good point in the chat. He says Hollywood is never in it for the art as long as they can draw a crowd, and that's absolutely true. There's definitely those in Hollywood that aren't for the money at all, or in it for the respect of the source material or anything like that. It's definitely just a, hey, can this be enough of a draw to get people to give us money? Yes, let's do it.
There's be a balance with that too as well, because you want to show your art to as many people as possible, but at the same time, lucrative, so you can actually continue to display your art. For
all right, I got a question.
Oh, hey, look, who showed up? He finally pulled himself away from that Apex Legends.
No, I'm still playing it, but what am I saying? It doesn't have to stay on source material. Look at Resident Evil. Those movies were good.
Well, Resident Evil was true. Well, that one did definitely break away. They also were following a much different from the get-go, because the fact that while it had the Resident Evil name, it literally started talking immediately about Alice, but they gave enough of the outside world building that we expected out of Resident Evil, as well as enough of the characters for us to know and get that it was a part of the world, but its own take. What they did with World War Z is that they did the same thing that kind of made the what was it, War of the Worlds remake that was done years ago kind of really bad, because of the fact that it focused on a single family and that story instead of following everything else that was going on. Like, if anyone read the original War of the Worlds, it didn't really follow the one family like that one did, and make it more.
But you gotta realize it's not. You can't like translate that into movie.
Oh no, I completely agree. And seeing a film that's, you know, a bunch of different short stories kind of all together would definitely be polarizing. But it was an issue of bad writing. You know, that's where it comes down to, is an issue of bad writing.
So I heard you liked it, right?
Decent, yeah. They didn't put me to sleep like everybody else. I enjoyed it.
But he also said that he didn't read the book.
But like, we need to stop trying to like base movies off of books. That never happens anymore. Like, actually, it never happened. Like, trying to have movies like based off of source material has never happened.
No, there's 40,000 Leagues Under the Sea. There was also
and look at Harry Potter. Like, come on.
How faithful is Lord of the Rings series to the books? How faithful is it?
Fairly well done. They're fairly well interpreted of the movies to the books. Especially if you look at the director's cuts, they added significant amounts of time because of the fact of how much Peter Jackson was trying to do to the books. There was definitely a few instances where they added stuff literally just to help sell, like the love story or the love triangle in like the Hobbit series with the dwarves and the elf. That wasn't in the original books, and that was one of those aspects of, hey, they needed to add it in to add that extra drama flair. But everything else, for the most part, was well adapted from the books. But there were also scenes that they had to cut out just because of the fact that they wouldn't be translated. Just like he mentioned with Harry Potter, and the Sorcerer's Stone, the very first movie, there was literally a scene that they couldn't translate well, which is how Harry first got to the room with the mirror that let him get the Sorcerer's Stone from what was the name of that professor who had Voldemort in the back of his head. There was literally a test in the room before that where he had to drink a specific potion that would allow him to pass through a flaming door, and they didn't have that scene in the movie.
Translate that over?
Yeah, they didn't translate over because of the fact that it was a lot of internal dialogue while he was trying to figure out what is the right combination to drink to be able to get through the door. And I think he was in that room with like Hermione or whatever, and it wouldn't have translated over well.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. What about The Matrix? Isn't it there was a book series first? They made the movie?
No.
Mistaken?
No, it was just they stole that screenplay from a writer though.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. I know. I thought it was a book. Okay.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a book. The book came afterwards.
Okay, that's probably where I got mixed up then. All right.
Because now we see a lot of novelizations of books and stuff like that. or novelizations of movies is where they like take all the screenplay and then they rewrite them, or they take the scripts and adapt them into a book or anything like that.
Oh, with shows too. We see Game of Thrones is based off a book as well, but I haven't watched it yet. So,
Oh
like,
no.
it be faithful to the source material, or just like do their own thing with the show.
Oh no, they are definitely doing their own thing with the show. There's definitely parts where they draw heavily from the books, but there's also a lot of parts where they've left out just because of the fact of how it would translate. And part of that is because they do have the author as he was a producer as well as helping write the scripts. So they left out certain parts that just wouldn't be good, or cut out certain stories and characters and stuff like that, just to be able to put the rest of it that would make sense more on the screen than everything else.
Okay, so I guess it just depends on the franchise, because some movies will work, some won't.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think the most recent one that we saw was I think last year with well, as the main character, Dark Tower, something like that.
Oh yeah, the Dark Tower series with the
So, but,
gunslinger.
Yeah, but was that faithful to the book, or did they do their own thing in the movie?
No, that was its own thing, but that's because even Stephen King said that the movie took place after the books and their own universe.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely one of those aspects, and a lot of people hated that, but I thought Idris Elba did a great job. I always loved the Gunslinger series. I read all the Dark Tower novels, all 15 of them. Don't at me, bro. Because that's how much.
Here
That's
you
how
go.
much.
That,
Yeah, that's how much.
Plug. I see you.
Yeah, because of the fact that I'm that much of a loser. I read all those books. I'm a massive Stephen King fan. I was like, that's what inspired a lot of my writing. Nizzy, did you ever read the Dark Tower series?
No, I did not. I did not.
You didn't? Oh man, you really should.
No. So I'd definitely be lying to you if I said I did. So.
Oh, okay.
But I guess like on the subject where like, I guess productions take like books and I guess comics and make them into movies and shows. What's your take on I guess like The Walking Dead? Because it was like the biggest thing back in what, like 2013 when it first came out.
Did it come out?
I don't know if you guys remember, the first season was like 6 episodes, and then the second season they just started jumping numbers.
Yeah, double.
And I just felt like it just dragged, and they weren't even they weren't even really going towards the comics, because I read the first comic.
Yeah, the graphic
and then,
novels.
Yeah, and then the graphic novels, and it was just the show just totally went left field with it. From my understanding, is they weren't even trying to go based off the graphic novel.
They were just taking concepts, taking concepts from the comic and just doing their own little spin on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, Robert Kirkman had said that the showrunners who are doing the story writing, literally, basically everything from the graphic novel they did the opposite of in the TV show. Characters that were supposed to die later, they died early on. Characters that were supposed to be dead were still alive, and a lot of flip-flopping on how they were trying to do their own story.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's definitely one of those. That's one of those where they know the source material. They worked with the writer, but they did their own liberty with changing everything because of the fact that that's what they wanted to do. So it's definitely always a complicated situation when you look at how that can go back and forth when translating that kind of stuff over.
Absolutely.
Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop on to our next topic, which is for me, because of the fact that I mentioned this earlier, is that I'm a big Shazam fan. And right now, the producer of Shazam had actually come out and said that the Black Adam film, that we know that they are doing a solo Black Adam film, is actually going to have a much different tone and vibe compared to Shazam. And this, if everyone doesn't know, Black Adam is actually going to be starring The Rock, who will be portraying the anti-hero, big bad opposition to Shazam. And I'm really glad for that, because of the fact that I didn't want them to just copy the same formula over, do anything like that. It's good that they're making each one separate and doing their own identity, because Black Adam is always been more of a more serious anti-hero / villain at times, and a much antithesis to Shazam. Shazam is lighthearted, he's fun, he's a kid, whereas Black Adam hates, the ancient wizard Shazam who gave Billy his powers. He hates what he's doing with them and feels that it's completely unnecessary. He's focused on the survival of his people compared to anything else in the world. And we've kind of seen where he's shown where he'll go out of his way to protect them, as well as other times where he's kind of been a villain and kind of worked with, especially Vandal Savage and them, depending on what he gets out of it. He's always been a well thought out villain style character without necessarily being a full villain. So with them announcing this, I'm actually happy about this. So Soul, tell me your thoughts on them making that announcement.
I think we already like figured like they was going to do this. So like it's not a surprise. I'm just glad that they like came and like confirmed it even more. So
yeah, definitely. What were you gonna say, Nizzy?
I was gonna chime in, just be like, I didn't know much about this, but I'm pretty stoked just for the simple fact that I'm a huge Rock fan. So I feel like this is gonna be just great.
Oh, definitely.
You didn't know that The Rock was playing Black Adam?
I had no idea, dude. No idea until today.
Yeah,
today. So I'm very stoked for this.
Oh yeah, they actually announced that The Rock was gonna be playing the Black Adam long ago before they even announced the Shazam film that they were gonna do a Black Adam film. And
yeah, it was like a year and a half ago, probably even longer.
Yeah, I think it was in like 2017 they made that announcement, and then last year we got the announcement for Shazam for that film.
So I think during that time, Aquaman was just like rumored or just like teased around that time.
Yeah, that was just like just before
they announced. It was right after Justice League.
No, they announced the Black Adam film just before the Justice League movie came out. Yeah. And then after Justice League came out, that's when we started hearing the rumors of Aquaman getting a solo film. So yeah, so we're kind of seeing how that all plays out now. So it's really good to see how all that's coming together, and stuff like that. So it's definitely good to see that. And they stated that we're not going to see Black Adam start showing up or they're not going to start production until 2020, which kind of makes sense. But it's going to be good to see when that comes out, and really looking forward to how that's all going to play, because definitely like The Rock. He's a great action star, and I definitely think that he has the personality that can really fit Black Adam, because of the fact that he could be that very serious style character, and he could definitely pull that off, kind of what we've seen with him as Hobbs in Fast and the Furious. When he first showed up, he was a very more serious character before we saw the lightheartedness of him joining the rest of the crew in the Fast and the Furious films. So it's definitely interesting to see how that all plays out.
Absolutely. I can't wait to watch the movie and see him actually have hair. That's gonna be
right. He's actually gonna have some hair on that head.
Yeah, it's gonna look weird.
It's gonna be very weird. He's gonna have a toupee.
For me, there's not too much we can go off on. We have like a small grasp of the toe for Shazam, because we already know it's gonna be like a lighthearted film, but they can always throw a switch up at us during the movie.
I mean,
me personally,
I wouldn't be surprised if they did a switch up, but I mean, at the same time,
I just want to see how they gonna do the film when they're together.
Yeah, when they actually meet each other.
Because me, right now, I'm just like Billy as a kid hero. He probably sees the world as a clear-cut view of it, right? There's a good and a bad. But with Black Adam, he could probably introduce a middle ground, like a gray area to it. Because Billy, he probably sees like, no, there's only good and bad. But Black Adam, like, no, there's actually more to it. It's not that simple.
Yeah, he probably looks at it as like, Naruto. He just thinks that everything can be saved. Black Adam actually like, nah. Sometimes you gotta like eliminate things.
So he could pretty much challenge on Billy's ideals in his Black Adam film too.
It will definitely
he can make him grow up. He can make him grow up fast.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely going to be one of those, those reality checks for him. But at the same time, we can see just how hopeful Billy still is in wanting to be, believing in that and showing off the good of everything.
We probably get like a Naruto versus Pain moment. Like Pain's going to be a Naruto, and like he's gonna make Naruto rethink of shit.
Yeah, he's gonna start to realize that like sometimes you can't always think that like just because you got hope that it's gonna change anything.
And same thing about Naruto versus during like the final arc versus I forget her name. I always fuck it up.
Kaguya.
Yeah,
Kaguya.
like he says he's gonna save everybody. They like wipe out half of them or so, like right in front of him. They're like, bitch, what are we saying, bro? You gonna save who? Like, hold on, this is big boy games now.
So yeah, hopefully, like they don't try to make him a gag character inside of Shazam
Yeah.
when it comes to like Shazam.
Yeah, definitely. So
I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they will.
it'll be interesting for sure. So with that
I
being,
hope so.
oh yeah, I really hope so. I'm really looking forward to Shazam. That's one of my top anticipated movies for this year. So
When does it come out again?
Shazam comes out, I believe that is in April. So let me double check that here before we give people some false information. Yep, April 5th. That's right.
Okay.
And apparently, quick addendum is that apparently The Rock's we are going to get a first look at The Rock's Black Adam supposedly teased in the Shazam film. So definitely going to be looking forward to that.
We'll probably see something when he visits the wizard, or maybe at the end, like an ending cutscene. Any.
So
End
who's
of credit scene.
playing the Shazam actually?
Zachary Levi. He's actually going to be playing Billy.
No, I'm talking about like the Grand Wizard Shazam.
The Grand Wizard. I don't think we've seen who's going to be playing the Grand Wizard.
I doubt they mentioned it. You probably have to go look for that.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I don't think we've had a confirmation of who's going to be playing the Grand Wizard. Oh no, we do have. Jamon Hansu is going to be playing the Wizard.
Who's that?
He was the one who was he was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was one of the pirates, as well as he was in Blood Diamond.
Oh, okay. I know you're talking about now. Okay. The guy, what's his name in Guardians of the Galaxy? Cause that's the one that's seen Quill, and he was like, give me the item, you're under arrest. I remember.
Yeah. So yeah,
yeah, like is he a Kree? No, he's not a Kree, but he's involved with the Kree.
Yeah.
Cause he's gonna be in the Marvel movie, Miss Marvel.
Yeah, he's gonna be in Captain
Marvel. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I keep saying Miss Marvel.
Well, I mean, because she was Miss Marvel before she became Captain Marvel. We're probably gonna see her under the name of Miss Marvel because Marvel's supposed to be in the film as well. He was Korath. That's who it was. Korath.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's dope. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that they, keeping close to some of the.
Yeah, definitely. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see. So with that, we're going to hop on over to our next topic, which is going to be on the DC side still. Aquaman. Aquaman is getting a sequel, spin-off, whatever you want to call it, already in the works at WB, and it's actually going to be about the Trench. For those who haven't seen Aquaman, it was a really good film. But there was one particular scene where both Arthur and Mira, Mira?
Yeah, you're pronouncing it right.
Yeah. Mira had to go to the Kingdom of the Trench, and when they went to the Kingdom of the Trench, they met the dwellers of the Trench, the fish people. And I mean actual legitimate like fish people, not like, everyone else in under the sea. Under the sea. No. So we got to see the dwellers of the Trench, and that was probably
stuck in my head now.
Yeah, literally. So for those who haven't seen, the Trench scene was probably the most badass and also well animated CGI scenes in that entire film. Literally watching them swim into the dark depths of the ocean with nothing but a flare, fighting off all these fish as they try to get to the center of the trench, which basically led to the center of the world, was awesome. And I'm glad that they're doing a spin-off title in the Trench. So I just kind of want to know what it's gonna entail with that.
I hope it's like more like a horror. I really hope it's like something. Like
Gonna have to be at this
film.
point. Let's feel like a quasi horror film like they're doing with like the New Mutants before it got shit canned or whatever they're doing with it.
I hope it doesn't have to really. I don't want it to really like deal with like actual like superhuman. You know what I'm saying? So like I would rather like regular people encounter them, kind of.
Yeah.
I want it to be like a horror film, like fishermen like actually encounter them. Like there's horror stories about them.
I think it's something to reference it.
Yeah. Nizzy, have you watched Aquaman yet?
I did not. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did not. But however, I'm very curious to see how this one takes. Because would you say that this was like the main antagonist in the movie?
No. They were one of the other kingdoms of the sea. There was several kingdoms. So you had the
okay.
kingdom of Atlantis. You
Okay.
had the kingdom of the Trench. You
Mhm.
had what was the kingdom of the Reach? Was that it with the crab people?
Reef? Reef?
Crap.
Was it Reef or Reach?
I think it was. I forgot. I totally forgot.
Because there was five different.
Yeah, it was a
kingdoms.
clan that actually like turned and looked more like fishes. It was the ones that actually like went more primal, and that's the trenches.
Yeah.
And then it was the crab ones, and
then you had the other
regular,
ones.
like-
Then you had all the ones that were actually more like fish that were
the
had
ones
to have
the ones that
little
like got
ships.
killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit,
And-
I forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot the names of them.
Yeah.
But they live like near like lava or whatever.
Yeah. There was quite a few of them, and I can't remember all of them, and that makes me a little bit mad that I can't remember all of the different kingdoms in that. But
I only
yeah,
watched them
Brian.
once. Maybe if I watched them multiple times, it would have been easier.
yeah, I need to see it like 2 more times.
I have it right here in front of me. Just spread out. Kingdom of the Fishermen. Then after that, there
The
is-
fishermen, that's the ones who
Look like fish, like
yeah,
actually look like fish.
actually look like fish. Yeah, that there was
Then
them.
there's Trench. He was Kingdom of the Brine. That's what. Kingdom of the Brine.
Brine.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
the ones
yeah.
that were the crab. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. We had to figure it out. But yeah, this one is gonna be interesting. I really do hope that they do it like a horror film. I do agree with that. Nizzy, since you haven't watched Aquaman, I definitely recommend it. It's literally so well done that we were all kind of blown away, and I'm not surprised that it hit $1 billion. And literally, this was the film that really showed DC's turnaround from what they've been doing with the DCEU before they changed it to World to DC. Like this was the film that really showed their step up and turnaround.
Oh, definitely, man. I'm without a doubt gonna have to, and I mean, just to shine a little more light on the Trench. I think they're gonna have to make it into a horror movie, man. Do you see what this thing looks like?
Yeah, exactly.
They look
I mean, like,
crazy.
Oh, yeah, sea cockroaches. That's what they are, man.
Hey, whoa, that's offensive.
Oh, it's offensive, but it sticks.
See cockroaches.
sea cockroaches. That's hilarious.
Oh, definitely.
Jeez, man.
And here's the good thing about it is that they already stated that this is gonna show off a little bit more of the lore. It's gonna be a little bit more modestly budgeted. It's supposed to center that we're talk about them, and they said that it's not gonna interfere with the main cast of Aquaman. So we might see some of the smaller side characters, as well as definitely a lot more of the humanistic side of those getting caught up in the trench. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how this is gonna work.
Could be like a retelling of their origin, like from when they were transformed after the that power fluctuation from that generator they had. I forgot what it's called. To like where they are right now, how they like evolved and like morphed over the years.
Oh yeah, how they became the ravenous creatures that they evolved into.
And after the war and whatnot, they
after
probably
they got
like
cut
legends were
off.
built from them.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting. And apparently the 2 screenwriters that are working on it, Gardner and Fitzgerald, apparently they were assistants at Bad Robot, J.J. Abrams' production company, during the time when he was working on the Super 8. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of background that they have. Because I don't know if anyone saw
Yeah.
Super 8. Super 8 was actually really interesting.
Yeah, it was like
I can't rewatch it.
it was Stranger Things before Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah, Stranger Things before Stranger Things. That's probably the best way to describe that.
I don't know why, but like that era of like time is like a perfect segment. Like do like a not like a horror film, but like fantasy sci-fi vibes you can do with it. That's what
I
I
don't
think.
know. It definitely, it's not gonna have a sci-fi feel. I'll say that. It's definitely not gonna be sci-fi. It's definitely gonna be fantasy. But I think it would be a fantasy thriller, but definitely fantasy horror. It has to.
Hmm.
So we'll definitely see how that all plans out for sure. It's definitely gonna be an interesting take on it as a whole.
Absolutely.
Now from there, we're gonna hop on over to the next topic, which is actually going to be about something quite close to a few of us here, and hopefully Nizzy, you have something on this. Aaron Magruder, the writer and creator of the Boondocks, actually made an announcement recently that they are going to be doing some new Boondocks stuff here soon. He's actually been releasing a lot of comics and short stories written in the Boondocks universe with a lot of current running political stuff because, you know, for those who don't know, the Boondocks have very been heavily social commentary, especially on black people and African Americans' thoughts on a lot of current running topics, especially from the perspective of, you know, African Americans living in very heavy, you know, white suburban neighborhoods and stuff like that, and how it was a much different feel. So it's very interesting to kind of see that introspective and a lot of that commentary from that side on things. And with him doing a lot of comics, if you've read any of the comics that he's done recently of big political topics, it's hilarious and as messed up as it was back then. And I think that's the kind of commentary shakeup that we really need nowadays. And I'm glad to see that he's wanting to do more and continue on with it, especially after we got the season 4 that came out a few years ago, which was nowhere as good as what we had with the first 3 seasons of that show. And a lot of people did attribute it to the fact that his original co-writer had walked away from it during that period. So I really hope that he comes at it now with the same energy that they did way back then. So I know me and you were the first to really talk about this when his co-writer were actually announcing that his own anime adaptation of Ishiki, the Black Samurai. So I want to know your thoughts on this.
Well, it was just because I did some research on, you know, the panels that he did, and it was just something that he decided to do on his free time. He got one of his friends to like draw the panels out, but it brings in to show you that like a lot of people want another season of Boondocks, and hopefully this like helps build, you know, like another season because people actually want to see it. But I don't know if it can survive in today's era, honestly, to be real.
Yeah, I definitely agree with where you're coming from. That's definitely going to be a massive shakeup because as we've seen a lot of things now, it's hard to have that satire and social commentary without it sparking some sort of controversy, without some people getting upset about it. There's a few people who do it anyway and don't hold back, and you know that's especially what we've seen with Matt Stone and Trey Parker with still how they handle South Park. They still don't care one way or the other how controversial they get.
Their last batch of hope at this point. I think even Family Guy had to cut back a little.
Yeah, they cut back on the gay jokes. They cut the gay jokes.
And the thing is, Riley used to always say something is gay. So I don't.
Yeah, man, they're gonna get a lot of flack in this time. But I feel like it'll be a perfect time for the release as well, because like look what's happened recently.
It definitely would be good because, you know, they could talk about, you know, the issues with Donald Trump, but it will also bring like problems too because people gonna be like, because you know how Twitter and social media is.
Oh yeah, but I think the Boondocks have enough history of that social commentary and shakeup that they're not gonna hold back. Nizzy, what are your thoughts on it? Did you ever watch the Boondocks?
Dude, I loved the show, man, and yeah, I did. I absolutely did love. I actually did watch the Boondocks, and I loved it, dude. I thought it was hilarious. And just all the different shows, how they hit different it's like different current events and stuff like that.
Oh, definitely. Like the first R. Kelly trial.
That would be hilarious, dude. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I just to shine light on it though. I really do think it'll do good in this era, without a doubt. I personally, to me, I think it would do good in this era.
I think it still can, but it's definitely gonna have a lot of a shake
Backlash?
Yeah, it's gonna definitely have some of that backlash for sure. But again,
Yeah, I think that a lot of the people would have, they would they will hold back a lot, just
and
just because they know that how today is.
yeah,
Today's
and
world is.
that's what I hope that they don't do. They need to, if he's gonna come back with this, he needs to not be afraid to go all in. And again, people need to realize this is coming from an African American's perspective on these social political topics, as well as what they kind of his thoughts. Because we all know how Huey is. He's well articulate. He's well smart, and he looks at a lot of things. Whereas Riley is, he's a street thug, and he sees that different ways.
Yeah.
So you have that opposing.
Yeah, Huey he uses his common sense and what's morally right.
Yeah.
Riley, he just wants to be cool.
Yeah. So it gives you that different perspective on how people view topics, especially in all those things. We've seen how in a lot of episodes that they oppose each other. Hell, look at Alone with the R. Kelly trial, right? Huey was just like, he's like, man, he's like, yo, don't realize he said he done did it. We seen that he does it. He's like, he's in it. He's guilty. Why the hell y'all treating him like he's some damn superstar?
God.
Yeah.
God.
And they're over there dancing in the courthouse, and he's just like, cut the damn dancing. He's like, y'all look like a bunch of idiots. And then Riley's just like, boo, get off the stage, put the music back on.
You're right, but I have a question for the panel and the chat too. Like, when the show does come back and they do bring the heat, like they did in the past, just coming against them, do you think Black Twitter create like a safety net for them, like a buffer for them, so when people start coming at them, they're trying to bounce back at them?
Yeah,
like fighting their defense.
Yeah. Black Twitter is definitely gonna try to create a safety net, but it's also like the LGBTQ community is very strong too. So
yeah, it's gonna be a civil war.
It's a whole civil war over there, man. I don't know.
Man, I really want it to happen just to watch that.
It's gonna be dangerous, man.
So are they bringing back the original cast members?
Hopefully they will.
Yeah, hopefully they
like
do
Regina King, everybody like that.
We need John Witherspoon, man. We need John Witherspoon. That man, he is.
They have no
hilarious.
choice. They have no choice.
Absolutely,
Hopefully.
dude.
Chapter season 4, what they did with he has to come back and like redeem that trash they had.
Season 4 was pretty bad.
Turn him into an idiot. That pissed me off though. That pissed me off so much. Cause remember the episode when, he lost. There's some dumb shit about slavery. Cause he was sold to slavery, some shit like that for $1.
I think you're talking about when the story of Catcher Freeman.
Think so.
Yeah, the story of Catcher Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But yeah, dang.
Yeah,
Listen.
So Dallas is just like he said, Boondocks can absolutely pull it off. They don't have to care if people get mad because they have a funny because it's true vibe. And he said that we ain't having a motherfucking drop of Boondock slander up in here.
I wish, and I hope that they can pull it off. And I really do hope that they try to bring it back.
Oh, I really do. I really hope that they do. And again,
they
need.
You know what?
We need that shakeup.
Could work.
What could
you know
work?
what could work? Netflix, baby.
Oh,
Netflix.
yeah. They definitely.
That's a good idea.
Netflix or Hulu, both of them are really good about having that more mature rated content. And I think Netflix actually has the first 3 seasons on there already.
I don't know for sure, but I just know.
Either one of those platforms would do really, really good to support to put that show out. Of course, Adult Swim is still always a good choice, but definitely if they really want to go all in on it, definitely put it on one of those platforms.
I would say the only reason why I say Netflix is because the animator and the creator for the designs of the character, LaShawn, he has an anime coming out on Netflix, so they already get the so they can already get the the connection going.
Yeah, I just hope that they talk it out and work what happened from previously, because I know he wanted to do his own separate thing, and they were kind of not sure about season 4, and then that's what we got with season 4 was kind of like So I really hope that they definitely step it up for sure.
But just look at Netflix productions. When you look at the the shows they have done. Like they brought back. I remember when Fuller House came back. You know that did pretty well. What was another one? Trailer Park Boys.
Oh yeah, the Trailer
Park Boys. Yeah, Trailer Park Boys is hilarious, dude. I mean, they did really good with that, and then they started doing movies and stuff like that. So I think if Netflix was to take the Boondocks and put their production team into it, I think it would do really really good.
Yeah, especially come back and do it right, because they're really gonna walk back to the furniture house they didn't buy for. They have Netflix right now, which is the biggest streaming platform on the planet. After there's Black Twitter, which will support it indefinitely, and then there's a meme community. Look at Bird Box. Look, that move strictly blew up because of the memes on Twitter.
Yeah, it was just because it was totally
imagine that.
So
imagine that Black Twitter behind it, bro. It's over, bro. It's over. You're set.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was solely because of memes.
Oh man, what happened to the song?
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, he's definitely not lying on that, because of the fact that, oh my god, dude, the memes that came out from that has just been.
I remember over the summer, I was like, what's all these damn blindfolded women? Like, what is this shit?
For real. It was crazy, but the best thing were all the memes coming out about it, or the jokes. It's just like, hey, this is gonna be the name of whatever. And one of the favorite people that I know had one of those, and it's just like, the last movie you watch is the name of your vagina. And she's like, well, Bird Box. She's like, I don't like how this is going. I was like, no, the reason it's called Bird Box is because no one ain't gonna see it. And she started laughing so hard. I was just like, yeah. I was like, that shit's just meme worthy. I was like, it's just like, oh my god.
You're gonna watch this shit. I'm gonna cut out Twitter because I'm gonna get spoiled either way.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's great. It's one of those things that's just literally there just for the sheer existence of meme material. Just like there are several animes that are just simple meme material. Pop Team Epic, Nichijou, and K-On! That's all just meme worthy stuff.
What was the anime with Jaden Smith? It was so terrible.
Yeah. What's it called? Oh.
I forgot. Neo
Yokio. Neo Yokio.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't deserve this big Toblerone.
I was like, what the hell is this, man?
Dude, that was another one that was just simply meme-worthy material because it was just so bad.
So bad. I was like,
well, shit,
wow.
that's where that meme came from?
Yes.
I thought this shit for years. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, you don't deserve this big Toblerone.
I was like,
girl, you don't deserve
for
this
some
big
reason,
Toblerone.
it did successful, but it was just so bad. It was just bad.
It was so bad that it was good, and I hated that fact.
I'm never watching that shit. I'm good.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it. It's so bad. It's so bad that I can't even redeem it by saying it's so bad it's good. Like I can with a couple others. Like Konakon, the English dub of that, so bad it makes it good, right? And that anime is pretty bad. But this one is so bad I can't even say there's anything that redeems it.
At least Ghost Story did their own thing and just but like Neo Yokio, they were actually
what's that?
Like they were actually trying.
Saying something Blake can't. It's saying something Blake can't even save it, because that man he go.
That's what I'm saying is that I was like, if you watch Konakon, all right. So for anyone who doesn't know, Konakon is an anime about a young boy who's being chased or who goes to school with a fox spirit and a wolf spirit that are both in love with him. And there's literally, if you watch the English dub, right, it is so bad that it's actually really good because of just how the voice acting is, and that saves it. There's nothing that can save Neo Yokio, and the reason is that they are trying. Yeah, that was the one that I don't think I showed you this. I sent it to JD. I'll send you the clip alone of what
the
makes
one by the rabbit. That one killed me, man.
Oh yeah, no, that's Ghost Stories. That's Ghost Stories.
Yeah.
Ghost Stories is hilarious.
Oh, because you're a rabbit. Because you're a black.
Yeah.
What?
it's like, oh yes. For those who don't know, Ghost Stories was an anime in Japan that tried to be the Japanese version of Scooby-Doo, and it did so horribly, was so badly panned and received, that they sold it to a small American studio. And they said the only exception is do whatever you want with it. Just don't use the original script. And it was literally the first indication of an abridged series before abridged was a thing. Literally, they ad-libbed everything. And you want dark humor? That has dark humor out the ass. Literally, they make fun of a kid because of the fact that he can't talk. They say he's a stupid mute. And all sorts of stuff.
And
There's a Jesus freak
the
girl.
cat even talks.
Yes, the cat talks.
Horrible, dude.
Oh yeah, it's so bad. But it came out in the early 2000s. It's literal dark humor, and it is great.
That is so wrong.
Oh, literally, the Jesus girl. Literally, she's just like, I would save you. She's like, only if you accept the Lord Jesus Christ. And they're just like, what? They're like, he would only save you if you stop being a bunch of heathens.
This shit is hilarious.
It's
bro.
great. It is legendary. It's so great. Like honestly, I miss dark humor style stuff like that because of the fact that it can be so good. Like honestly.
Yeah, unfortunately, we never gonna get stuff like this ever again.
Yeah, right. People need to stop
The
being.
way with social media works nowadays,
Right.
forget about it. Because those days goodbye.
Yeah, sadly. It's like I don't know why we can't like yes, there's times when it goes too far, but when it's all in the context of being a joke, we need to do it. Like some of the people who make those jokes are those people. Like anyone here watch Dragon Ball: The Bridge? I'm gonna go left here a little bit. Anyone watch Dragon Ball: The Bridge?
No.
Not really.
No one's watched Dragon Ball.
Oh man.
So I guess it's only me and Op who watch Dragon Ball: The Bridge, but
Epilogue 2, right?
yeah. Well, not just that, but for those who don't know, Dragon Ball: The Bridge, they do a lot of dark humor, and there's a couple times where they make a bunch of gay jokes, right? Well, for those who don't know, Kaiser Neko, one of the actual people there, as well as the voice for Trunks in the last story arc, he's gay. He's the one who writes a lot of those jokes, and he's the one who has everyone read it out. And he's even called out when he goes too far with it, but for the most part, he's the one who writes those jokes. Like, people need to realize some of the people who make those jokes are those people.
It's like the ultimate source material. Cause
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
plot twist. I made it. Yeah.
I
so
made it.
If you're gonna hate anybody, hate me. They're like, oh no, we can't do that.
Exactly. Shut up. Oh, but
People just need to take jokes.
Like-
Jokes can be harsh. Just take them.
yeah, I mean, do
Guys,
people
I'm
not
sorry,
go?
I
Do people not go to comedy shows anymore? Like most of those jokes are like all over the place.
You know the funny thing about it, a lot of these comedy shows, they don't allow you to bring your phones in because they know that some people are gonna try to do some crazy stuff.
That's very
Takes
true.
on a context and tries to smear the comedian
Yep.
bullshit like that.
You know?
Mhm.
And
That's
that's
very
sad
true.
that it comes down to that now, man. It's just like Jesus.
But real quick, guys, I gotta do something real quick.
I know now that it could never work between us. As much as we wanted to, it could never be. Not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
When I heard that, I was like, holy shit. I was like, yo,
They
I
went
love this
there,
shit.
bro.
I was like, I love
Yeah.
this
They
shit,
went
bro.
there.
I was like,
Oh,
I love
yeah.
this show.
It's definitely on my list right after
Oh.
that scene.
Yeah, dude. If you look at any of the cuts from the English dub, it is legendary how messed up it is. I love it. Also, Dallas
Trust
Man
me.
says Dragon Ball Abridged is what
Trust me,
DBZ.
And
Yeah,
then,
touch
you know
me.
the funny thing is,
Touch harder.
it's the jokes are so modern, it's surreal. 'Cause it's, like,
Exactly. And,
it's
and, th-
crazy.
Yeah.
and that was 20 years ago. That was 20 years
Exactly.
ago. Also, Dallas
I
says Dragon Ball: The Bridge is what DBZ would be if it what DBZ would be like if it were real life. Yes, absolutely. That I agree with that.
Oh yeah.
Wrong. We can't say it's better than DBZ because they have hindsight in their favor, but like,
No, but he's saying that Dragon Ball Bridge is what DBZ would be like if it were real life. The way that they talk,
Oh, yeah, I
the
understand
jokes,
that part, yeah.
definitely would absolutely be. I mean, there's certain jokes that would go over, and not well. I mean, even with the references, you know, people make those kind of references in the daily. You know, like, oh look, a Pokemon. Let's do it, catch it. But I'm just tiny. No, catch that shit. Fuck them up. Oh, but definitely definitely some interesting stuff right there. So we went way left on that topic, and you know what? I don't care. I was perfectly okay with it.
I'm
Now
just
to
waiting
get
for the boost brother, then
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
right, just now to get back on track. Where we? Oh, yeah, right. We were talking about the Boondocks. Next up, so ABC declined an all-female Marvel TV show pilot from the Wonder Woman writer. So apparently they wanted to do a superhero drama with an all-female cast, and ABC turned this down. which, it's kind of messed up if you think about it, because ABC is owned by Disney, which is where the big network that they put all their Marvel TV shows on at right now. Besides, it's where they have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before they use a lot of the others, like how they have The Gifted and The Runaways on Hulu, and then how they had Cloak and Dagger on Freeform, which was still running on Hulu anyway, so really on Hulu. So it's kind of interesting that one of their own subsidiary networks turned down this this pilot and this series, especially coming from the Wonder Woman writer, right? Everyone knows how good the first Wonder Woman film was. So it's amazing to see that one of their studios turned it down. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, is ABC getting any heat for this? Like, is Twitter, really like blasting up about this, or?
What I've seen on trendings, I haven't seen no heat whatsoever.
I don't see nothing.
That's crazy.
It's not even warm, but I kind of understand because
Warm.
I can understand because it probably will be a great first season, probably a great first season. But after that, I think it would just be nothing but like drama and nonsense. Unfortunately,
it's a superhero drama, and it's an all-female superhero drama. So yeah, of course it's gonna have drama aspects. I mean, it's the same with Arrow for those who watch the CW's Arrowverse. It's very drama.
I understand. I understand a lot. There's a lot of girl comic book readers and nerds, but I don't see a lot of girls just watching this show. Just to be real.
Maybe initially, but like after the honeymoon phase, it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, but here's the real question about it, right? Is that we know that they turned it down, but they could have easily done it, but it would have also depended on what female superheroes that they would have put on the show. That would have been the big aspect right there, because we know that they have a lot of female characters and superheroes on all their shows. We see, we have Cloak and Dagger, so we have Dagger from there. Of course, we've seen all the girls on the Runaways as well as the Gifted, and a lot of them got plenty of shine. But it's just like, what were the females that they wanted to use in this superhero drama? What were the super heroines that they were going to use? Because we can name, thousands or hundreds of female superheroes across the Marvel Universe, but which ones were going to be the ones that they would actually use is the question.
Who would y'all like to see in the show?
I don't know.
I tried to think about it. I couldn't think of nobody myself.
I don't know.
I would like to see Spider-Woman, not Spider-Gwen or anything like that. No, I want to actually see Spider-Woman. I would have liked to see her. I would like to see something on more focused on Kitty Pryde and some of the female X-Men characters. Kitty Pryde, Rogue, and some of them. What other?
It's like Riri Williams.
Riri Williams. I don't think we're gonna see Riri Williams for a while.
No time soon.
Yeah,
I know that, but I'm like, wait.
And that sucks because I do really like Ironheart, but not a lot of people like Ironheart. And to be fair, she does have some writing issues. That's why a lot of people like Miles Morales more than they like Riri. So if they can actually rewrite Riri in a better way, I think that she would have a lot more shine and a lot more acceptance than she does right now.
Sometimes I feel like Marvel's trying to fill a diversity quota.
Yeah, Nizzy.
Yeah, like everything else. Like everything else.
Nizzy, you know anything about Ironheart?
No.
Okay, so Ironheart is a female. She's an MIT student who actually recreated Iron Man's suit by just looking at it and made her own modifications, and Iron Man actually had her take over the mantle.
Wow.
Yep, and she adapted the name Ironheart to represent herself instead of being, Iron Man or just taking Iron Woman. She wanted to show off, but the comics has had a lot of back and forth on how people feel about Riri.
Oh, dude, that would be badass if they, put her in a show and just kind of scaled it as to like before she, made the suit, and then all during the process, and then all the action and stuff like that. If you could all put it into it, yeah, that'd be, yeah. I think that would have been a hit.
You need a good budget though, because like once she dons that suit and on, if it's not, it's gonna look real wonky, especially now times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
I like, but I really like the design of the Ironheart suit. Actually, dude,
It's a nice suit.
I mean, I'm looking at it now.
Everything else surrounding it is not.
It's a pretty badass suit.
Oh yeah, it just sucks that not a lot of people like Ironheart, that they really don't like Riri too much. But like I said, a lot of it is part of her writing. And I think that if they clean up the storytelling and writing for her, I think she would do a lot better. Because that's why a lot of people really like Miles Morales, because, Miles Morales is, an African-American superhero and stuff like that. His story writing for his drive on wanting to be Spider-Man and everything that happened to him and what led him to that was so well done that, they didn't try to make that his identity. I think that's the big issue, is that they didn't try to make that its identity. So it'll be interesting, but definitely it sucks that they cancel the show. But again, it's one of those things of who would have been their super heroines that they would have used, because depending on who the super heroines that they would have used, I think that could really change how it was perceived.
Speaking of female superhero shows, do you still have was it Superwoman going on, or
Supergirl? Yes, Supergirl is still
Supergirl? Yeah, I apologize.
Still running.
Wow.
Yep.
But then that's unfortunate, man. I really think the Ironheart would do good.
Yeah.
But I could totally understand where you guys are coming as far as the whole aspect of.
It would be our whole group of like superhero women.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be surprised half or most of it was like X-Men.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the superheroines in the Marvel Universe are in the X-Men.
I don't know how that, because they would have to actually, appeal to like women. They so. I don't know how they would actually do it, because men. I don't know how the comic book community is, and the nerd community is. I don't see a lot of them like actually watching it like that much. Especially the men.
It has like a tall battle to go if it got greenlit. It'll have a long way to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Just for it to be some people and be successful for him.
And that's probably why they probably looked at the summary of the story, the budget, everything, because people attacking Black Lightning for that one scene, so we gotta be careful.
The uppercut where he just spins in midair. And yeah, I was just like, I think that was just a one-off. Like, I mean, the rest of the choreography has always been real badass.
Yeah, we gotta be careful. They don't got that much budget.
Bro, who said someone took a JPEG of that and just spun it around? Who said that? That's what they did with that scene.
They low key probably did that. I'm not even going to lie to you. So.
Oh man.
Hey man, but it was still really it's funny though, because what it was is like they had that dude spinning in midair, so they must have had that rig on him, and they had two cameras going at the same time and just switched cameras really quickly. It was pretty great though.
But maybe later on down the line, we'll actually get an all-female cast show or a movie for superheroes and stuff like that.
Well, we are getting a movie. For those who don't know, we're getting Birds of Prey.
Oh yeah, of course.
Nizzy, have you heard of Birds of Prey? Yeah, the Harley
Quinn is bae.
Yeah. Nizzy, are you looking forward to Birds of Prey, or have you heard of the film?
I have not heard of the film yet.
All right, so do you know what the Birds of Prey are?
No, please shine light.
Okay, so
educate me, because you've been doing that all since the start of this podcast. So educate me, please.
All right, so the Birds of Prey is actually a group of superhero heroines that exist in the DC universe, and it's been named and used, led starting by Black Canary, but it was used by a bunch of the female superheroines who were doing their own thing. It had Huntress in it for a while. Of course, we had Batgirl, who later became Oracle and was kind of their Overwatch. Catwoman was a part of it as well. And recently they announced that they are doing a Birds of Prey movie with Harley Quinn being the leading lady, as well as we're going to have Black Canary in there. Huntress is also going to be in it, as well as we're also getting Cassandra Cain, who later becomes another Batgirl in it. And who was the other one that we were going to get in there? No, I think that's it. I think that's who they've confirmed so far. So it's an all-female group of the DC heroines.
No, you said Harley Quinn's in it. Is it going to be the original one that they used for Suicide Squad?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie is going to be returning.
Great.
Yes.
That is going to be great because she played Harley Quinn very well.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she's bae.
She is indeed
Yeah,
bae.
that's bae.
She is a beautiful woman. I will
Very.
not deny that.
For Soul and Bloody, if she can beat your ass, she bay for them.
Yeah, you're damn right. If she can kick my ass, or definitely threat of being injured, I'm all for it. Let's do it. I don't deny that for a fact. Okay, so hopping on to the next topic for sure. So what we got here is, let's see what we want to talk about. What are we gonna talk about? Oh, so speaking of X-Men, right? Kevin Feige has officially taken oversight of the Xmen property. A couple months ago, he was given the green light to start introducing and writing the X-Men into the universe and start being able to use them. Well, as of a month ago, he's officially taken oversight of all the X-Men properties. That's why a lot of the X-Men projects that were in development at Fox were shelved or canceled and put on hiatus because of the fact that they're reworking that universe. And one of the first things that they're doing is, one, how to streamline the universe and what they're going to do with it, as well as the biggest thing is that they're going to look for a new Wolverine.
Wow.
Yep. So they
That's nuts.
So the only two films currently that are going to be released is Dark Phoenix, which needs to get canceled. I don't want that film at all. And the New Mutants. But after that, it is going to be completely a new rework of the X-Men universe to get it in line with the rest of the MCU.
We get F's in the chat for Hugh Jackman.
Yes. All of the F's in the chat for Hugh Jackman.
I mean, you gotta give credit where credit's due, man.
Oh, absolutely. He absolutely killed that part.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, how many X-Men were there? And how many times did he, around?
He was in every X-Men film to date.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one he was not in was Apocalypse. I think that was the only X-Men film he did not portray Wolverine in.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
But definitely, it's going to be interesting with them looking for a new Wolverine, and with them looking for a new Wolverine, it makes you wonder if they're going to try and go back. And we talked about this a little bit in our private DMs. That are they going to try and go with a Wolverine or a Wolverine who actually matches his comic book counterpart as the short, muscular motherfucker that he is, or are they going to look for just another character or another actor who can portray the character well? So Nizzy, I think they're
just gonna go with the latter one that can portray him well.
You don't think they're gonna look for someone who can portray him well and still short and matches his ideas?
We need a munchkin.
Maybe.
No, we need a munchkin.
Maybe, but like the only person I can think of is that dude I put in the chat, John Hutchison.
John Hutchison?
The guy from Hunger Games.
Okay, I could see
he's
that.
He's like 5'7". That's the closest you're gonna get.
Oh, you don't think Dan DeVito can pull it up, bro?
Of course he can. He's the GOAT, but he's getting old now, so we need a younger one right now.
Definitely. I told you, I'm short enough. I was like, Nizzy can confirm this. He saw how short I was when we were at PAX. I will hit the gym and start dieting. I will take the hit and be the new one. I am short enough for it.
Man, you gotta email him.
Yeah, I'll email. I'm gonna call Kevin Feige right now. Hey, I will be your Wolverine.
It's gonna be like, so
Got that beard transplant for you.
Yeah, they're gonna have to edit in that beard hair for me. But other than that, it's all good. It's all good.
you know,
Beard,
they're,
bro.
they're just
Much
gonna
that?
glue beard. They're just gonna glue it on you.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
They know special effects. All I need is the mutton
Yeah.
chops. That's all. That's it.
That's it, dude.
All right, so,
So I did take a count on it, and I think I counted right. I think he did 11 movies as Wolverine or Logan. That's a lot. That's a long time. And I think the first one
almost 2
was,
decades
is it
worth of films.
2000?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah, 2000 when the first X-Men came out. So you're talking about 19 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is definitely crazy.
That's a long run. That's a very long run.
He started this comic book thing, man. He was he stayed
no,
besides.
No.
I'm not gonna say I'm not saying started, but like he was the longest running besides who else? I don't think anybody else.
Who?
No.
Who's
Samuel Jackson's
like,
been through for like 10 years.
like I don't. The only person I can see that. Nah, the only person else is the guy that played Professor X. Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Patrick Stewart.
That's true.
Patrick
Mhm.
Stewart.
Yeah. That's true.
But I think it's still nowhere close to
Yeah.
he
Michael
was-
J. White started this comic book business with Spawn. Just saying.
I'm not talking about like. I'm talking about like the longest though. Who's been
Oh,
the
yeah.
most consistent?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's between Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I guess right after them would be Robert Downey Jr. Good old RDJ.
And it wasn't Michael J. White. It was the Marlon Wayans. Blank Man.
Blank Man.
Oh yeah.
Ah!
now you going old. Now you really going old school. Blank Man.
Oh man.
I think
That's a
that
great movie.
came first. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Blank Man came out in '94. Now you going old school right there.
Oh man.
Oh man, oh that's crazy. But yeah, it's definitely interesting because Kevin Feige was the one who kind of helped make was the go-to man when they did the first X-Men film, and that's what made the first X-Men film so good. And then the second film, he didn't have as much say in it, and they didn't use him as much. And then the third, he had nothing to do with, which is why the second and third films felt more off compared to everything else, because they didn't have the man who follows the Bible of the comics and knows how to portray those characters, and even with rewriting them, knows what to look for.
What was the story? What was the story of the third X-Men film again?
Dark Phoenix.
Oh yeah, ill.
Yeah, ill. And with the
That
Dark
was
Phoenix, and
experience.
here's the thing with X3, right? Well, I know that they did the they did the Dark Phoenix, and we had old girl who played Jean Grey enough to kind of build up a liking to her. She did not have the performance to sell Jean Grey's issues with the Phoenix Force, and them doing a Dark Phoenix, like Fox, I don't know what the hell you're doing right now, doing the Dark Phoenix film after you failed to sell the threat of apocalypse, and Sophie Turner only did one film as Jean Grey. We have not gotten attached enough to her to see the struggles of her with the Phoenix Force. They need to get rid of this film. I've been saying that it is too early to do it, and it's gonna mess up that entire.
Well, they're killing it anyway.
Look, I want Kevin Feige to keep the cast because the young cast that they got for X-Men is great cast. They are all well put for their roles. It's just Fox's writers were doing doing all the stupid shit with it. They did not know what they were doing.
Yeah.
That was the issue. Did you watch Apocalypse, Nizzy? Did you watch any of the last X-Men films?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, since there was like so many, it was almost hard to keep up, you know.
That is
Yeah.
definitely
really
true.
was. It really was, but I mean, I can't say nothing bad about none of the X-Men movies. I enjoyed all of them.
Oh, okay. I did not like Apocalypse, and that hurts me because my girl Olivia Munn did amazing as Psylocke.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
That's why I was super hyped for her. I was super excited.
Oh,
you know,
dude,
but
Olivia Munn. Oh, she's such a sexy woman. She look, her and Jessica Chobot were my first like real crushes when it comes to the gaming industry because of the fact that they were like
Hey,
the beautiful nerds.
I definitely agree. I
Before.
really agree.
Yep. Yeah. See, yeah. G4. That was the day. And man, Olivia Munn, I was in love with her, honestly. And when I heard that she was gonna be playing Psylocke, oh my god. Beautiful.
She did all that training. She did all that training just for nothing.
I know. It upset me because I thought she was amazing.
That sucks.
Remember a scene at the end when they're fighting Apocalypse, and they had Magneto had the gall, put 2 fucking steel girders in Apocalypse, that shape of an X. I almost walked out the theater when I saw that shit. No lie, I was like, no, I can't do this no more.
Oh man.
Yeah, like Magneto had the power up. He still couldn't beat him, but then they got Phoenix. I was like, okay, like, and then I was like, I don't know if I like where this is going then.
Yeah. It was definitely one of those that was just questionable.
And going back to the original trilogy, the third one, like as far as the depiction of the Phoenix Force and Jean Grey, like that was some vampire Dracula shit they're going on there. Like eyes get all black and shit, her veins start popping out all black. Like what the hell is this?
Right?
As a kid, I paid no attention to it because like Phoenix Force is cool because I remember watching the anime series from the '90s, X-Men, which is a goat. Yep. Okay, this movie version of it, I'm done with it. Like 5 or so years later, I'm like, what the fuck was I watching? Like, what was wrong?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I
Dude.
know.
When did the original cartoon show come out?
Oh,
my
90s
God,
or
dude.
like the 80s
90s.
or 90s?
No, I
90s,
think
okay.
Yeah, I think it was the late 90s. I think it was 98.
Was it?
97. I think it was 97. Let me check.
Now I gotta.
Yeah, it ended. It actually started in 92 and ended in 97.
92 ended 97. Yeah, dude.
And it went on.
Oh my
crazy.
god.
Oh my god, dude.
Also, speaking of X-Men, and Nizzy brought up the fact that Gambit's his boy. Him and Rogue would have the most amazing Southern baby. Look, she got.
I actually hated Rogue in the movies
Oh,
so
yeah.
much.
Golf the girl? No, I can't do it.
I liked her in the animated show.
Yeah. Was Rogue always country in the comics?
Yes, she was. She was a Southern belle. Absolutely.
Okay, just make sure.
So she had
'Cause I knew
that.
after
She
watching
had
it.
that sweet, heavy Southern accent always, and Gambit had that Cajun Creole. So those two having a baby together, that baby would have the most interesting accent, but would be a beautiful baby.
That baby had all the sauce. They would be set for life.
Oh, absolutely. Like you thought that Gambit has sauce. No, that baby will be dripping.
And disappointment right now.
Yep. But now on to the next topic that we have here, and this one has me excited. Right? Did anyone remember reading this book? Did anyone remember reading Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, I
Scary
remember.
Stories?
Yeah, I remember reading those in elementary, dude.
I think everybody had to see the book before. It was a white cover book. It had crazy looking designs on the front, like scary designs. They'd make you-
Horrific looking, like it was made out of ink and oil
It-
and also. Yeah.
It would give you nightmares, and each chapter it would be a new picture. Like it was crazy. I love those scary stories.
Absolutely, Nizzy. Did you ever read those growing up?
Dude, I think I remember my cousin reading this to me one time, and I freaked the hell out. I started screaming, dude, because she was really like animated. Like she really got into it, like reading it, and I was like maybe like 5 years old or something like that when she was reading it, and I screamed, dude.
Oh wow.
I screamed.
Those stories, especially for like younger. When you were younger, you would freak out. Like spiders coming out of people's faces. You're like, oh, I can't take this, man.
Well, like I said, she was really animated, right? So she started walking up towards me, and like her voice got louder and louder. Yeah.
The girl.
Oh no. Oh no.
I was like 5 or 6, dude. Like,
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
what am I supposed to do?
Right. I
care.
completely agree. Well, guess what? You're about to relive those childhood horrors because
God.
Guillermo del Toro, the man, the legend himself, the monster aficionado, is actually doing a Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark movie that is going to be releasing this summer.
Oh God.
Ain't watching.
I know.
It's too good.
Oh,
He's
I
too
am.
good.
wait.
I am
I
absolute.
can't
I cannot wait. Like if anyone can give these creations the perfect vision, it would be Guillermo del Toro. The man is a monster legend with the way that he creates his creatures for every film. Look at everything that he's done from Pan's Labyrinth, what he did with Shape of Water, what he's done with Hellboy, the original Hellboy films. The way that he creates these monsters is just amazing. And if you've seen the trailer for it, it has me so hyped because they did.
Let's take it even further. PT.
Oh
Freaking
yes,
Play the test.
yes.
I ain't fucking touching this movie. I am not touching it. I know what that was. I'm not doing it, y'all.
You gotta
Oh,
touch
he
it.
did? Oh, PT was. Oh my god.
Yes, and him and Kojima working on that. Like the man knows how to create horror and monsters because he knows how to create monsters but make them so human that it's terrifying because of the fact that you think of them as less. You don't think of them as just a scary monster. No, you look at them because they have humanistic aspects, and that terrifies you even more. That's what made Pan's Labyrinth so good. Dude, like, has anyone seen Pan's Labyrinth?
No.
No, I have not.
No.
But didn't he like recently win like an Oscar or something like that? Or?
Yes, he won an Oscar for Shape of Water, which was
Okay, I figured. That's why when
Yeah.
you say Guillermo del Toro, the name sounds so familiar, and I remember.
yeah. Guillermo del Toro
Won
is
an
a
Oscar.
legend. He is one of my all-time favorite directors. Like literally one of my inspirations. And yes, Dallas, that movie Pan's Labyrinth is legendary. That is a wonderful film. For those who haven't seen it, it's actually in Spanish too. It's a Spanish film that he did, and oh my god, it's just a wonderful story. You have to watch it. It's one of those that cannot be.
Love it.
You want to read? Okay, you want a synopsis of Pan's Labyrinth? I can get you a synopsis of Pan's Labyrinth. Because we keep going left, and I don't care.
It's part of the topic, so yeah, go on ahead.
Yeah. So Pan's Labyrinth. So for the synopsis of the film. In the Falgana Spain of 1944, the bookish young stepdaughter of a sadistic army officer escapes into an eerie but captivating fantasy world. That's literally the synopsis for it.
Wow. Gotta see for myself then. All right.
Yep.
I remember seeing the creatures. I was like, yo, these creatures are freaky. I never watched it though.
Oh, dude, you have to watch it. It's so good. The goat from that film is awesome. I love to.
That's the goat. Yeah. That was the goat. That was the monster I seen. I was like, why it look like that? This shit look creepy as hell.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now, man. That's yeah.
I'll watch that in complete daylight.
Cuentan que hace mucho,
I knew
mucho tiempo, en el reino subterráneo, donde no existe.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, but you gotta watch it. It's well worth the watch, dude. It literally was amazing. Like, it's.
I'm pretty sure it's dope, but you gotta understand. The Haunted Hill House, like that first half of that series, that shit fucked me up.
Oh, I don't deny that for a
I can't
fact.
take no chances after that.
Yes,
man.
Ophelia was a G. She was a G. But dude, but for real, like Guillermo del Toro is the monster man. Like he knows how to create monsters. So when I saw this announcement that he was making a scary stories to tell the dark film, I was immediately just like, take my money now. I'm all in. Seeing that like 30-second trailer, and it was a story of the woman who was missing her big toe, I was already all for it.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I was all in so fast, dude.
Do they have a release date?
Yes, not a date, but it's coming in summer of this year. So it's
Okay.
sometime
Oh, yeah.
in June or July.
Love it. I love it.
I know. I'm so excited.
Nice.
It has to be excited.
You tell me how it is, cause yeah.
He's like, nope. I'm all
Just go
out.
ahead and check it out, man. Guys,
Yeah.
go ahead and
Yeah,
check it out.
That man, too much of a G. I can't do it.
Yeah,
Man, too good.
he's too good at that. He's too good. He's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. All right. So next up, what we got here is, speaking of remakes and legendary visionaries, another classic is coming back from another visionary. The Twilight Zone is getting a revival on CBS All Access.
Yes.
And the
Ew.
man, and here's
Ew.
but hang on, look at the man who's gonna be bringing it back.
Say his name, please.
Jordan Peele.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Listen.
Come on, yo, give it. Yo, you
Ew.
have.
The only reason why I say ill is because you have to pay to watch the shit. That's the
I'm
only reason.
I'm pirating. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't do
Oh,
it.
oh,
DC Universe, Netflix.
Yeah, no, I agree. I can agree with that. Like the CBS All Access isn't really all that worth it. I mean, you can get yeah, that way you gotta pay for it. Like all their other apps, like their CBS Sports is all free, but the All Access, no, and it sucks because this is actually so. And I mean, this is probably something that may get people to go for it because it's Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone is a classic. It is known so much. Any person you go to and talk about the Twilight Zone, everyone will immediately recognize the Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Jordan Peele is the one who's going to be bringing it back and is going to be the host as well as he's also the producer and director, like that's amazing.
Big time. He won the didn't he also win an Oscar for Get Out?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, for the screenplay, right?
Yeah, for a screenplay.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
And that's why I'm all for it. I mean, I hate the fact that I gotta pay to see it, but I'm glad that he's bringing it back, and I'm glad that he's getting the respect that he did. Ever since him and Keith stopped doing Key and Peele, and they're both doing their own things, Jordan has really shown what he's capable of as a director with what he did with Get Out, what he's doing with Us. Him's still in talks to do the live action Akira movie, and now him doing this. Like, the man is all over the place and he's showing his chops, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I'm really looking forward to Twilight. Like, again, it's a classic. It's, you're bringing classic back to life, and because Peele did so good with Get Out, it's just he's obviously gonna probably put his his talent, his niche into it, and it's just gonna be phenomenal, man. In this era with production is just so advanced. He's gonna kill it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Talented. He's from what started being this comedian, the director, movie producer of Get Out, and now Us coming up, and now his own show as well. Well, another show. Like, this man, you show he can really do it all.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
And he's writing. Oh, and the thing about it too is Get Out and Us. He wrote the scripts. Those are his screenplays. And they're doing that. That shows what kind of mind he has, and that's just amazing.
Yeah, after the show, I'm gonna watch that Us trailer one more time because, like, that soundtrack.
Yeah.
The fact they were man.
They took.
You can make anything a horror
song. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, literally, that was your first thing after that trailer dropped. You're just like, I told you could make any song a horror track. Literally, just slow it down and add a little extra bass. Just warble it. Boom. There you go.
Freak you out.
Go freak you out.
You thought Disney was doing something with that Pinocchio song in Age of Ultron? Nah, that blew this shit right out of the water.
that was a good redemption though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now on to our final topic, which is the one that I'm most excited about, and also the one I'm most angry about. Is that first up, Battle Angel Alita comes out February 14th in all major theaters. So make sure you check out this film. Check out this film. It is a classic and one of the most legendary sci-fi mangas around, almost as iconic as Akira, as Ghost in the Shell, and several others. But when this film was announced of getting a live action adaptation, when it announced that James Cameron was originally going to direct it, but later took on production role of it while he was focusing on Avatar, and had Robert Rodriguez take over as director, they made a point of how much that they loved the manga series and how much they respected the source material for this. Every reviewer, every critic was hating the film before anyone even got to see it. And a couple weeks ago, it was announced that everyone said that this film is going to be a box office bust and that it's not going to get well received at all. Well, earlier this week, early reviews are already coming out for the film, and it's actually really positive. It's rated right now on Rotten Tomatoes as certified fresh. I think it's sitting at a 70 right now. as of this current time with 70 reviews. And the biggest thing about it is that it's being enjoyed because of the fact that while it has pacing issues, which quite a few films do have pacing issues, is that the action sequences, the scenes, the animation, everything is what you would expect out of something that was very much anime and very much manga size. Having that in-your-face action well done, it's blowing a lot of people away. And it was so well received by one reviewer that he literally said that there's no other way to describe it, saying it's fucking awesome. So much so that even James Cameron had a comment on the excitement that a lot of reviewers are putting out for this. And I think that this is probably going to be one of those films that breaks the or kind of helps to change the, not every anime or manga adaptation and live action is going to be bad. If it's well respected enough, it's definitely possible to do a good film. And seeing some of the reviews, and right now, I definitely think that would be well. I don't think it'll do a lot here domestically, that's for sure, but I think in the overseas market, especially China, will definitely boost the revenue for this film. But I'm really glad to see this kind of results because I loved the Alita manga. I've actually reread the first 3 volumes to know exactly where this is going to be and the story of that world. So I've been rereading the graphic novels for this. Nizzy, what are your thoughts on the reviews coming out for this and knowing kind of how people feel about live action adaptation of like mangas or animes?
Well, I saw the trailer to it myself, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I got really attached to it. I really think it's gonna be a good movie. Yeah, action film, absolutely. And you said who's directing it again?
Robert Rodriguez. And for those who don't know, Robert Rodriguez is the director who did the Desperado trilogy. He did the Machete films. He did Sin City, for Christ's sakes, as well as the Spy Kids films. He's had he did all the special effects and 3D animation and that stuff.
Yeah, he did like Kill Bill and stuff like that. I mean, it has yeah, I think it has the possibility to be a great movie. I really do. I don't know much about, like, as far as like the mangas go. Like, I never like read anything about it or anything like that. I never read into the mangas of Alita, but as far as what I looked into and the trailers I've seen and what I read, I think it has the possibility to do really well domestically as well. I think it's going to do really good because I mean the animation, the fighting, and everything is great.
Yeah, but unfortunately, people are hoping it flops. That's the weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It's weird. People are weird.
It really.
But but for somebody like me, right? For example, like I'm not, I'm not crazy into mangas like that. Like I'll read it, I'll check them out, but it's not like really, I'm not 100%, into it. For something like this to, just to watch a trailer and for it to just grasp me and make me want to watch, like can't wait to actually watch it. Yeah. I can't see it not be like not successful. I see it being successful.
Exactly.
I hope
that's where and that's why I'm glad I have you on, because the fact that right there is that you don't know mangas as in depth as me, especially as Soul King here, because we call him the king of comics because the dude reads mangas and comics more than anyone else in our group, and he's probably read more than us. But knowing that you don't know the source material, but when you see it, it gets you excited. And hearing that it's an adaptation that might interest you and want to read that later, but knowing that the trailer is enough to get you excited for this film, that's what they're trying to do. Is that for those who know the source material, they want it to be exciting to those. But not only that, is they want it to appeal to those who don't know it and want to get drawn into that world. And having you talk about that right now shows that they're succeeding with what they're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely, man. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
For real. Op, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Great. These the early reviews are really positive for it. That's going to help it.
Yeah. Right now on Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at 61. I was wrong, but it's sitting at 61 with 82.
Rotten Tomatoes garbage. We don't go off of them, but
oh yeah.
Yeah. The real teller is how it's going to do in the box office. That's going to really show.
Yeah.
If people really resonate with that,
yeah,
have to see it, of course.
Yeah, I would look at the box office and user reviews.
Definitely.
Because of course reviews they play a part as well. Because you know how casuals are. You watch reviews like, oh, someone didn't like it. I guess I don't like it either. Shit like that. So that can definitely influence people.
I usually look at the actual user, like screw the critics. I look at the user.
Yeah.
So like that's where you can tell if people really enjoyed it.
Look at Justice League, like Rotten Tomatoes, like a 30 or something, or whatever for the critics, but users like 80, like in the 80s.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like you could tell, like if you look at what is it, the latest Star Wars, people were like,
oh yeah, last
people
Jedi.
really were upset. Yeah, people were really upset. Me personally, I'm not like a crazy fan of Star Wars, so I like it.
I liked it a lot, and I'm a crazy fan. I stood for that movie. I defended that movie.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. But
absolutely.
Alita, it's gonna do good. It actually made like a realistic looking enemy character, and it's like I don't know why like people have a problem with that design. I don't. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, the way that they modeled Alita is amazing, and the fact is the rest of the like Rosa Salazar is the model for Alita. She's doing the voice. She did all the mocap and choreography for the character. It's Rosa Salazar. Like Rosa was even at Comic-Con and was talking about the film and talking about the manga, which she actually read years ago and reread before the film. Like she knows what she's talking about. Like wow. I trust the people going into this film, especially if you look at like Robert Rodriguez, the man. With the way that he stylizes action, but the way that he's a very passionate nerd, and the way that he does a lot of those things, like especially look at Sin City, right? He knew exactly what he was doing with those films. He respects when he's doing an adaptation or a screenplay. Like if anyone could have done this right, it would have been him.
Absolutely, he has a really good rep. Yeah, so I couldn't agree more.
Absolutely, like I'm absolutely all for it because like I said, man, I trust Robert Rodriguez on doing these films, and especially having James Cameron's production company helping with the production and everything, as well as the animation. Hell yeah, you know they got good effects going into it.
Oh yeah, they got big money.
They got big money. So I'm perfect. I'm excited for this film. Like I already pre-purchased my tickets because I'm gonna go see it Wednesday night before it goes.
Oh yeah, I'm going to see it day one too.
Yeah, I was like, I'm all for this film. I was like, I'm so much for this. I actually reordered the collector's the box set of the omnibus mangas with the short stories of the original Alita, Battle Angel Alita mangas, as well as I'm trying to collect the other series, which is the Mars Chronicles, as well as the Last Order mangas as well. Like, I wanted that box set because of the fact that it looks nice, and I wanted to show, you know, I need to start collecting my mangas again, but I also wanted to show my support for this. Like, I'm all for it.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I might not go day one only because I need my elbow space, and you know.
Yeah. you don't want to be rubbing elbows with someone you don't know.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Somebody's definitely probably gonna get so much into the action that I'm probably gonna take a right hook to the face. So
yeah, no. Don't go with your girlfriend. She might hit you back.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. But yeah, it's definitely looking good. Now I'm excited for what's gonna be coming out. And
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So y'all have any last things to say on it?
No, I just know. I'm definitely going to go see Alita.
I'm confident. It's going to do good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I hope the movie does well. Hopefully I'll get a chance to go out and see it. But, you know, with my situation, it's going to be on top. But, yeah, I'm hoping for the best for the movie. Looks good. Definitely a fan of it. Just want to do well.
That's what you get for being a broke-ass college student.
You right about that? Living out of damn country. Shit.
I was about to say, I would say a hitchhike to the movie theater, but you can't even do that. There ain't no one driving there.
Like, we barely got Uber out here. Fucking everything's far away if we have it, let alone just.
I'm surprised they don't have a movie theater close to the college.
We do, but you know, it's not walking distance, unfortunately. Because if it was, I'll take my ass over there, no problem.
Better hop on that bike and start pedaling, boy.
Get that cardio in.
Get that cardio.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, you are going to drop money on all the snacks and soda anyways. You might as well burn it off before you get in there.
Facts. Big facts.
Oh, big fact. All right, well, guys, we're about to get on out of here, but before we do that, we're gonna do our outros here. And Nizzy, I gotta say, it was so glad to have you on the show, man. You definitely brought a lot of energy and fun to the stuff, and I'm glad that you were able to talk about a lot of the topics that we did. So let them know where they can find you at, man. Let them know.
Guys, you can find me everywhere, literally. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Probably in your front yard. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/NizzyTube, NIZZYTUBE. I was totally joking about the whole front of the house thing. I'm not a creep, guys. I'm actually just really laid back and just pretty much a clown. So
he won't
good
be in your
vibes
front
the
yard,
channel.
but he'll be in the bushes.
Yeah, I'll be in the bushes, yeah. Oh, man.
All right,
Great
man.
fun, guys. Thank you guys so much, dude. I really do appreciate you guys letting me be on the show.
Oh no,
no
man!
doubt, man.
I was so glad to have you out. Like I said, so many amazing people that I met while I was at PAX, and Nizzy's just one of many that are gonna be, you're gonna see making appearances, and hopefully more than once as the year kind of goes throughout. So definitely thank you for coming out, Nizzy. As well as make sure y'all check the description down below. His links and stuff right there for his Twitter and his Twitch are gonna be down there, and of course anything else you can find them all right there. But definitely make sure you go show this man some support over there on Twitch. Give him a lot of love. Follow him on Twitter. I was like, I love this dude. He's like, that's my New Jersey boy right there.
Appreciate you guys, man. Much love to all you guys, dude.
You too, Nizzy. And of course, Op, let them know where they can find you at, bro.
Oh, no doubt. You can definitely find me here, of course. And of course on GRG on Fridays. Kicking back with everybody, talking game and whatnot.
Definitely. His Twitter's gonna be down below because he never plugs himself because he's so bad about his social media.
It's a second thought to me. I really don't care. I'm just retweeting, liking shit like Soul said. I don't do much there.
Yeah, that's true. So let them know where they can find you at, my man. All right, good
He
talk.
already Apex Legends.
He already back on that Apex Legends. He dipped out so quick.
AFK.
Yeah, just like that. Of course, guys, make sure y'all follow Soul King right there on Twitter. Make sure you follow his Instagram. The dude does all the art for the channel. He did the logo. He did our banner. He's redoing everything. Of course, if you've seen me do other streams and stuff, you know that the chibi version of me, Chibloody, is done by him. He's doing everyone here on the shows. Of course, he's going to be doing new art for us, so we would not be able to do what we do without him. He's our PC expert, so he helps us set everything up. So make sure you give him some support and love, and definitely check out the art that he's done for a lot of other big people in the community, especially a lot of YouTubers. Dude is always doing work for so many people. Seriously, I'm glad to have my boy doing everything that he does. So much love to you, Soul. And of course, y'all are on the channel right here. You know who it is. Bloody Knuckles, aka the Gothic Gamer, your anime king, doing what I do. So if you're already here, make sure that you're subscribed. If you're not, it would be greatly appreciated. We are working right now to hit 250 by the end of March, because we are so close to 200 right now, less than 20 away. So guys, please share the video, like, subscribe, share it to everyone. We don't ask much, but it would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to do so much more. If you've seen our old videos to where we're doing now, we're trying to increase and have a better presentation. So we're already working on that. Of course, all of the links to my social media are down below. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Mixer.com, where I'm streaming a couple different games. I'm doing Valkyria right now, of course. I've been uploading my Metro playthroughs, as well as I'm doing Resident Evil 2, so be looking out for those. But definitely y'all want to check, because we are doing a giveaway from a lot of the swag that I picked up from PAX South. So you'll want to make sure y'all check all that out if y'all want a chance to win that. As well as we're going to be doing more giveaways here soon. So guys, trust me, we have a lot of things planned here on the channel, so y'all want to make sure y'all are supporting us. It would be greatly appreciated in every possible way. But with that being said, we're going to hop on out of here, guys. So it's been a wonderful time. Again, Nizzy, thank you for stopping by, my man. It was great to have you on. But from all of us, guys, peace out and check you later.